everyone to this video. In this video, I'll be telling you how to remove background from images in Photoshop. So let's get started. So first, we'll be removing the background from this image. So let's go to Select in Subject. And if you don't have this option, you might be on an older version of Photoshop. I'm working on Photoshop 2021, and if you're on CS6 or CS7, you won't have this option. You would have to make the selection using the quick selection tool like this. So you'll have to make the selection like this. And if you don't have Photoshop, you can go to Chrome and go to photopea.com, and there you can follow along with ease. So now let's go to Select Subject, and Photopea wouldn't have this option either, Select Subject. So there also you would have to make the selection with the quick selection tool. Now we have our selection. It's done a pretty good selection, but it hasn't done a selection like a good selection right here. So we can go to our quick selection tool and say that we want these parts of the image, and then press down Alt for saying that we don't want this part like this, and then I'll go click on Control 0 to fit this image on our screen, and then I'll click on Add a Layer Mask like this Japan's flag kind of thing, and then we can go to Select and Mask to refine it even more. So here you can see we have done a pretty good selection, but I just saw that we left an area right here. So we can go to our brush tool, and we'll have to paint it out by pressing down Alt and just brushing this out. And instead of this to view on black, we can go on view on white. So here we can see that we only have to remove this white part like this, and we can reduce the size of our brush like this and make it a little bit smooth like this. And now let's click on Control 0, and then we have a lot of options. So here, like, you have to play with all of these options and see what works best for you with what image. So we can see that radius isn't doing a lot, so I'll not be playing with it. And then we have feather and smooth. I don't want feather and smooth edges, but I want a little bit contrast in the edges, so I'll crank up the contrast. And then we have decontaminate colors and shift edge. So those two are basically the same thing. You just have to see what works best for you with which image. So let's click on decontaminate colors. So it isn't doing much, and let's see what shift edge is doing. So it is also not doing much because there's no need for shift edge right now. But when we'll play with hair and have to make selections with hair, then the shift edge and decontaminate colors will be very useful. So I just saw that there is a spotlight right here of the wall. Now let's go to brush tool, increase the size, and just paint it out by pressing down Alt key on a PC. Like this. Wonderful. And now let's go to Control 0. Press down Control 0 to fit the image on our screen. And now we can click on Output 2 to this layer mask or a new layer with layer mask. So I'll just click on new layer with layer mask and click on OK. And here you can see we have successfully removed the background from this image. And I can show you that we have removed the background by, I'll go to new layer, put the layer behind this layer, and then go to gradient tool. And here you can see that we have removed the background and we can put this selection wherever we want. Like we can put the selection wherever we want. Now we will remove the background from this image. So let's go to select subject and 1, 2, 3, go. So here you can see that it didn't do a perfect selection like it did before, but no worries, we can fix it. Let's go to create a layer mask and then let's go to select in mask. So here you can see the main problem is here. So we can first zoom in right here and then let's go to the refine edge brush tool and we can refine the edges of this area. And now you can see it didn't do a pretty good job. So what I'll do here is I'll just brush out all of this area like this and then get to brush tool only and then slowly and steadily bring back the hair like this. I'm just painting in those hair like this and then I'll remove this background like this. Like this, and then we can go to refine edge brush tool and we can say that we want these hair to be more like this, and we can go to minus, like we don't want this background. And now I can go to brush tool and just click on Alt and remove this blue color from our image. And now I'll click on Control 0 and then we can play with shift edge and see, and here you can see it's helping a lot here. And I think I'll want a little bit contrast in the edges, a little bit like this, and we can see what shift edge is doing. So it's doing a pretty good job, and I just think there were more here, see. So let's, yeah, and now we can see if decontaminate color is doing a well done job. So here you can see it's helping the image a little bit right here, so I'll keep it on. And now I'll click on OK, and you can see we have done a pretty good selection. I just saw that we left this bit right here, but no worries, we can go to select in mask again and then zoom in to this and then click on a brush tool and just click on Alt and just do this, and then I'll go to the refine brush tool, make it a little bit smaller and see what it does. So here you can see it bring back a hair just a little bit, and then I'll go to Control 0 and then I'll just click on output to this layer mask that we want these changes on this layer mask only. So output to layer mask and then click on OK. So now we can go to a new layer, bring this layer back, and then we can see that we have successfully remove the background from this image. Thank you for watching our video. Please consider subscribing because it would help us immensely. Brainy Brothers are signing off for now. Bye bye. See you soon.